guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're one of my first subscribers, and thank you so much for that. I want to let you guys know that for the month of August, I'm going to give one of you a free personal reading every Friday of this month. So for the next 4 Fridays, you guys will have a chance to win. All you have to do is follow me on my Instagram account and subscribe to this channel. For any of you that maybe don't have an Instagram account, you can still participate. Just comment on this video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know that you would like a chance to win. And as of right now, guys, I think I only have 1 or 2 followers on this Instagram account. So that's really good odds for one of you to win this first week at least. So check that out if you're interested. My Instagram account is listed in the description, and I will announce the winner each Friday via that Instagram account. Now, moving on to today's reading, we are going to do what is called the love's truth. Does he or she feel the same? And this reading is going to be for ex-partners only. So if you're in a current relationship that's on good terms, this pick a card reading won't apply to you. Okay, so go ahead and take a minute, figure out which group of cards is calling out to you. And we have 3 today. So group 1, group 2, group 3, and then I'm also going to use the pendulum in this reading because you guys seem to like that in the last one. So go ahead and make your choice and we will get started. All right, so group number 1. This is the layout that I chose to go with. And what I've done here is specifically place the Lover's card in the middle with the rose quartz, okay? And then we've got cards here. These represent you. These cards represent your ex, okay? So in the first position here, this is going to be how he feels about or sees you, and vice versa here, so how you feel about and see him. The middle card is going to represent why things ended from your perspective. This will be why things ended from his perspective. And the third card is going to talk about what you hope for in the future when it comes to a future relationship, and the same for him. And then once we go through the cards, I'm going to ask the pendulum, both for you and for your ex, whatever this card shows us what you're looking for, if you hope to find that in your ex, or if not, then someone new. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. For the first position, this card is going to represent how he or she, your ex, feels or sees you. So we have the 4 of Pentacles. And so the 4 of Pentacles, this talks about a desire for long-term security and holding on to things or people even when it no longer serves you. So what I'm going to take from that is this person feels like you are someone that he or she could have been with long-term. There's a sense of security with you that they haven't been able to find in anyone else. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your perspective for why things ended. And we have the Fool. So the Fool, in terms of a relationship, it can show a lack of commitment. So I would say from your perspective, you feel like things ended because this person would not fully commit to you, wouldn't settle down, that type of thing, okay? The third card, this is going to talk about what you want in the future in terms of love and relationship. And we have the 4 of Wands. So with the 4 of Wands, this is going to talk about celebration, family, friends, and even weddings. If you look, you know, they're celebrating, they're planning, they're decorating for some special event, okay? So that is what you are looking for. You want your partner to be your best friend, your lover, and have that real commitment that lasts, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and pull out the pendulum, and I'm going to ask if you are still wanting this from your ex. And remember, we're going to do this vice versa when we go through the ex cards, okay? So let's do this here, and I will do that so you guys can see as well. Let's do this over you, your energy. All right, wait for it to kind of quit moving. And we're gonna ask, does group 1 want this wedding, this long-term relationship and commitment with their ex? Okay, I don't know if you guys could see that. Initially, it started to go counterclockwise for me, and that's a no. And then eventually, it did go clockwise. So, you know, you can interpret that in different ways, but I'm going to say that there's a part of you that does still kind of, you know, want those things with this person, and then there's probably maybe like a more rational side of you that knows for whatever reason that maybe that couldn't work, okay? So I'll leave it at that with your cards. We'll move on to his cards. So the first card here, this is going to be how you feel or see him. And we have the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands talks about a spiritual breakthrough or overcoming obstacles through hard work and patience. So I'm taking from that that you connected with this person on a deeply intimate level, okay? This could feel like a really spiritual kind of connection that you had with this person. You could feel like this person could have been a soulmate for you. You likely spent a lot of time with them, going back to the overcoming obstacles, the hard work, the patience aspect of this card. So moving on then to the second card, and this is going to be why things ended in his perspective. And we have the Seven of Pentacles here. So actually this lines up with your perspective on why things ended. The Seven of Pentacles talks about feeling secure and hopeful about the future, but being faced with the option to put more energy into the things, hence the relationship that you already have, or work at bringing in something more or something different in your life. AKA having the choice of settling down or keeping your options open. So it looks like you both agree in terms of why this relationship ended. Moving on to the next card, we've got the Page of Swords. And again, this is going to be what he hopes for in the future in terms of a relationship. So we have the Page of Swords. And in terms of a person, this would be somebody who has a balanced mind and heart. Someone who can adapt to changing circumstances. So this would be somebody who's a quick thinker, somebody who he finds to be intelligent. Tell me that that's what he's looking for. He wants someone who he can connect with both on an emotionally and emotional level, rather, and on an intellectual level. So let's ask if he thinks that he found that in you, right? That there's a chance that maybe he's still thinking about you fulfilling that role, okay? So we'll go ahead and put this over his energy, but I'm going to do this in a way that you guys can also see. So let's see if we can do it this way here. This should work. All right. Does group 1's ex feel that they could find what they want with them? Okay, automatically, you guys, that is a very strong yes. There was absolutely no hesitation whatsoever, and I hope you guys could see that on camera. So I don't know if that makes you feel better about things, but know that, you know, he definitely feels that he found those qualities, those things that he wants in you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon. All right, so group 2, we have your spread here. And what I did with this is I intentionally pulled the Lover's card here, okay? And with that in the center, I have also placed a rose quartz, and I did this to give the reading the intention of what we were going for, okay? And then the cards that I pulled are represented here and here. This is going to be you, and this will be your ex. And I will say that when I was pulling these cards, I got some weird vibes. There's some weird energy going on here, and if you look at the cards, we pulled a lot of major arcana with these, so there's definitely something going on here. All right, we'll start with you. Now, in this placement, this is going to represent how your ex feels about you or sees you. And we've got the Empress. Okay. And so for the Empress, this is going to represent a woman who is already who she wants to be. She is gentle, gracious, affectionate. This card can indicate an abundance of true love. So I'm going to take that as this person looks to you as like the perfect partner for them. This person is going to have a lot of love for you, even though this isn't somebody that you are currently with, okay? And there we go again with like, I kind of almost have like goosebumps. There's just a weird kind of an energy here. So maybe that will make more sense to you guys. Yeah, I don't know. So moving on to the second card. Now this is going to represent why things ended from your perspective, okay? And we have the Page of Wands here. So with this, the Page of Wands, when this card isn't referring to like characteristics of a person, but rather a situation or circumstance, as it would apply here with what we specifically asked. It talks about the birth of a child or success of something started in the past. So what I'm getting is like, did this person leave your relationship to return to an ex? And then could it have been because there was a child involved? Like there was some sort of a responsibility to go back and kind of step up as a father and try to work it out with an ex? That's what I'm getting there. And then moving on to the third card. Now this is going to represent what you hope for in the future in terms of a loving relationship, you know. And we have the Knight of Cups. And this is kind of an odd card to get in this placement because of what this stands for. So this card talks about a prince or a princess charming, a romantic proposal. So again, similar to group 1, this card is telling me that, you know, you want that fairy tale type relationship. You want something that's long-term with a total commitment. And there is a real hope for, you know, your Prince Charming to ride in on his white horse and offer you, you know, this proposal. It doesn't get any more direct when it comes to a card that really is appropriate for what we asked for. And then what I wanted to do, because you guys enjoyed this in one of the last readings, is I wanted to bring out the pendulum, and we're going to ask if you feel like you could still get this from this person, if you're still hopeful in some way, you know, that this could be fulfilled by this person. But before we go into that, let's go through his cards, and we'll do the same with him at the end, okay? So for him, and this is how you see him or how you feel about him. And again, with the, you know, the weird like energy here, we actually pulled the Lovers, okay? So when it comes to how you feel about this person or see this person, you know, it goes back to, you know, feeling like this card. The Lovers talks about partnership, deep love, the balance of two people coming together. So you would have seen this person as, you know, a perfect other half for you, so to speak. There is a real deep connection that you feel to this person. Moving on to the next card, we have the Emperor. And this is going to tell us from his perspective maybe why this relationship ended. And again, it's kind of weird because the Emperor, this card talks about somebody who has a lot of respect, who is a father figure, someone who is strategic when it comes to, you know, planning out, plotting their next move. So because of that and what we had talked about from your perspective, you know, the fact that this card represents, or can represent rather, a father figure, you know, did this person leave because of that previous relationship? Was there a child involved there? It would seem that way because I can pull that information from both of those cards. So that's, yeah, that's what I'm getting there. And then lastly, for him, we have the World. And so this is going to be, you know, what he is hoping for in the future when it comes to a love relationship. So with the World, this card talks about completion after obstacles have been dealt with and overcome. You know, getting to that place you want to be after you've learned your lessons, right? Improvement in relationships, I can mean that as well. So that's a little bit more vague. It's not as you know, obvious as it was with you, the Knight of Cups. So, we'll start with you. Does group 2 want these things? So the marriage, the proposal, the long-term relationship. Does group 2 feel like they can still get this from this person here? Wow, okay. You know what, I have to say, I expected a yes, And I'm getting a very strong no. Very strong no. Interesting. Okay. So that tells me that you don't feel like you can get this from this person. It doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't some love there. Maybe there isn't. But yeah, it's not something that you see being able to get from this person. But let's go ahead and take a look at, what they're thinking. And I want to be able to do this so you guys can see it as well here. Okay. So for group 2, does their ex feel like they can fulfill what they're looking for in a relationship? Getting a lot of bouncing and energy here. Give me a yes or a no, please. Does their ex feel like they can get what they're looking for from this person? There's a lot of jumping around and a lot of hesitation to give me an answer. Okay. And that is a no as well. That's interesting to me, to be honest with you, because of the energy that I was getting with these cards. I really felt like it was going to be a yes on both ends. So, yeah, interesting read there. So I hope you guys found that helpful or informative in some way. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Okay, so group 3, we've got the layout here. And I have intentionally, for this reading, pulled the Lover's card and put this in the middle along with a piece of rose quartz to kind of give this reading the intention that we were looking for, okay? And the cards that I pulled are going to be this row here and this row here. These are going to signify you, and these are going to signify your ex, okay? So in the first position, this is going to be how he feels or thinks about you or your ex. I should try to not say he or she, because this can imply either way, right? So this is going to be how your ex feels or sees you, and vice versa over here, okay? The middle placement is going to be why things ended in your perspective, and vice versa. And then for the last placement, we have what you hope for in the future in terms of a relationship, a romantic relationship, and the same here. And then once we read through the cards, I'm also, because you guys seemed to enjoy this last time, I'm going to bring out the pendulum, and we're going to ask about depending on what we get here, if this person could still fulfill what you're looking for in a romantic relationship, and vice versa, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the first card for you. Now, this is going to represent how he feels or sees you, okay? How he feels about or sees you. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles, this is going to talk about wealth and support in domestic affairs. Somebody who is generous, who is able to offer practical help. This tells me that he sees you as a supportive person, somebody who, excuse me, was always there to help him or her when they needed you, okay? Right? And so moving on to the second card here. Now this is going to be why things ended with this relationship from your perspective. And we have the Seven of Cups. So This one's pretty straightforward, I feel like. The Seven of Cups talks about having too many choices, commitment issues. So this shows that you feel like he had too many options, and I'm getting the feeling that with that, you were the one who walked away, okay? So instead of like hanging out there in this, knowing that you weren't the only one that he was talking to or interested in, you know, that kind of thing, you actually walked away. So that says a lot about your character, okay? And moving on to the third card. Now this is supposed to represent what you are hopeful for in the future when it comes to a romantic relationship. Doesn't necessarily have to be talking about this person, the ex, but it can, okay? So we have the Two of Wands in this position for you guys. So the Two of Wands talks about, you know, waiting for something. You're waiting for results. It can talk about making a choice. So I get the feeling that this is you waiting to see if this person will actually choose you. Okay. And moving on to the cards that I selected for your ex, him or her, however that works out. We have the Page of Cups in the position talking about how you feel about them or how you see them. So with the Page of Cups, this is going to be a person who can be somewhat immature. This person would be somebody who enjoys socializing. This person could have some artistic nature to them. This tells me that you see this person as kind of immature, and because we have the cups, this could be more of an emotional immaturity more than just a general immaturity, okay, if that makes sense for you guys. In the second position here, this is going to be why things ended from his perspective, and we have the Six of Pentacles. So this card would normally refer to a money situation. So let's look at that. So it signifies an offer of money that comes with unreasonable conditions. So if we apply that to a relationship rather than finances, it could mean that in accordance with your perspective here, he wasn't ready to commit. The thought of commitment to him at that time was unrealistic, okay? And then in the last position, and I think, you know, it's, I should point out that you guys each have a 2 in this position. So you have the Two of Wands, and then this person has the Two of Swords, okay? And the Two of Swords talks about balance, compromise, making a decision. So are we thinking, you know, has this person wised up? Are they ready to make some sort of a decision here? We can take it as that way, but let's not, you know, forget about the fact that with this card, the person is blindfolded. So for me, the blindfold makes me feel like there could still be a part of him that doesn't know exactly what he wants. So maybe he feels drawn to make a decision, but at the same time, you know, maybe even going back to this emotional maturity, maybe he is not at the point where he knows exactly what he wants. So let's go ahead and ask the pendulum, okay, if this Two of Wands for you is you actually waiting for this guy to, you know, wise up, you know, to grow up a little bit, realize you have to offer and that he wants that, right? So let's go ahead and ask. Okay, for group 3, do they want their ex to be able to come to them making that decision of wanting to be together? Okay, we're getting some hesitancy, some jumping around. Maybe I need to word that differently. It didn't come out very eloquently there. For group 3, are they waiting for their ex to make a decision and come back to them to offer them a relationship? Can I get a yes or a no, please? Wow, still a lot of just jumping around. Can you give me a yes or a no for group 3? Are they waiting for their ex to grow up, make a choice, and come back to them, offering them a relationship? Okay. Now we're getting there. So it did move in a clockwise circle for me, and that came when I said, you know, did you want this person to wise up, to come at you at a more mature level, right? And that's when I started to get the clockwise movement, which would mean yes for me. But then it did kind of stop and give me that that jump again. So you guys take that as you will. But for me, it could mean that, you know, there's a part of you that is hopeful that that would happen, that he would grow up. But then there's another part of you, maybe realistically, that feels like maybe that isn't likely to happen, okay? And then we'll go ahead and ask here for group 3. Does their ex want to come back to them with an offer of a relationship? Have they thought about this choice? Do they intend to actually make this choice? Can you give us a yes or a no? And I am getting a yes. There was not the same hesitancy. There wasn't a lot of jumping around it. It went right into a yes. So maybe look out for this person to reach out to you. I'm not saying that they're going to be at that level that you want them to be at, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if they do reach out to you. So I hope you found this reading helpful or enjoyable in some way, and I will see you guys again soon.